Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Friday finally. As you see, I'm in a beautiful setting because I'm finally out of the city. Woohoo! So I'm already rested, just only because of the landscape. I feel like my body drop like level of yeah, restlessness in just less than 24 hours. So today Candice is also here with me because we want to chat about uh, rest. And when we say rest, is not, we say many times rest, time is money, but we say rest, not time is money. And we want to just give you an idea of what we mean when we say that. But before to start, because we know that in our pot there is a lot going on, so it can be confusing. All the events that are happening, the course that is starting soon. So we want to give you an heads up. Do you want to
Sure.
update?
Yes, sure. Okay, so we've got two events that are happening. One is the fall equinox, which we are hosting a 1 hour and 15-minute celebration on the 20, is it the 22nd?
Friday 22nd. Yeah.
Friday the 22nd. Yes, I knew it was a Friday. The number was lost on me.
Yeah.
So Friday the 22nd. It will be at noon Eastern, which will be 5 UK or 6 Central Europe time.
Yes.
And it's really a time to reflect on your summer activities and to look towards the fall and the winter and how you want to set yourself up for success through those months. For most of us in the Northern Hemisphere, it gets a bit dark and a bit dreary. And so, what pace do you want? What intention do you want to set? And it's going to be fun and light. Hopefully, we won't make too many of you cry. Hopefully, not.
Right?
Yes, and so so it's meant to be just kind of like a joyful time, a time to reflect, time to pause, and time to to sort of figure out what your next steps are for the next
Yeah.
weeks.
And we have an activity in mind to um, help you and support you build your cocoon for the winter. So, what
Yeah.
are the material you want to use? What's the tools you need? Because at
Hmm.
the end, it's all about rest and nest the next month. So, how is gonna be your cocoon? Yes.
Yes. Yes. And so if you haven't worked with us before, it's a great, like, it's $20 US, super great price just to kind of see, get a flavor for what we're like. For those of you that have registered for our other course, which is Embracing Rest for an Impactful Life, the solstice party is free. For those of you who are like still thinking about it, but are like, maybe I'll do the solstice thing and then we'll
The
see.
eclipse.
Or sorry, yes, the equinox, just to confuse you even more, the equinox thing. Come check us out then, and then you can certainly decide. And the payment that you make for the equinox party will go towards your payment for the embracing rest. And the embracing rest starts October 4th. That's our bigger course. So this is our 12 weeks of an easeful pace to get you into embracing rest. And we're going to talk about why that's important today and probably also throughout the course. But it's going to be Wednesdays, every second Wednesday, so that you can digest the material and do the practices that we suggest. And then in the in between weeks, we'll send you little updates or little videos or suggestions in the downtime. So it really is to get you into the mode of what is your unique formula for resourcing yourself, for taking the time to rest, and why that's important. Um, and so after this, we'll put the links for both those below. Anything else to add to the bigger course, Julia?
Um, No, I think that's, I mean, that we have a website page where you can go and grab more details. Yeah, it will be awesome. I think it will be the perfect way to arrive to winter and to really, yeah, understand what's rest is for you.
Hmm.
There is so much going on in our life that sometimes we forgot and we really don't know how to practice rest. So it's gonna be a journey, I think, very
Hmm.
deep and restful. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. And I always think about it, which will probably, this is a nice segue into our topic of rest is money.
yeah.
Um,
I was thinking the same.
I think about it in terms of, for me, if I have a terrible night's sleep, I'm not very productive the next day. I'm not as kind, I'm not as resourced, and I don't have as many ideas flowing. And so I tend to kind of like slump through the day. And if you think about that on a bigger scale, whether you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, healthpreneur, mom, father, whatever you are, um, that concept of like not resourced and how that impacts you on a bigger scale day to day. If you think about, you're constantly under resourced and you're constantly
Yeah,
not taking the time you need to fill your own bucket, like what kind of impact that has on a bigger level. So more than just one
yeah,
shitty night of sleep, this is like a kind of like a chronic disease state where we're constantly depleted. We're not our best
yeah.
selves. We're not our most creative. We're not the best problem solvers in
No.
those moments.
So
Yeah.
we actually lose money in a certain sense, right? Like this
Mm.
is what we want to say. Like, and this is why also like the theme of burnout in this moment in this world that is so people are so tired, people are exhausted, is affecting so much,
Yeah.
like all the areas. It's not only about work, because before there was all this, no, like burnout is because you work too much, and like so it was more related to work environment. But at this point in the life, mostly after COVID, I will say, we really realize that being burnout is being emotion like completely exhausted in all the areas of our life. Because the thing is work, obviously, because it's like is where a lot of structure is, so I have to be productive also if I can't, also if you have like an employee job, right? If you have
Mhm.
so it's difficult. But then this affect, as Candice was saying, every other areas. So it's not only that, oh, but then at work is a problem, but then everything is no, because you start to lose your purpose, meaning. You are not resource with your kids, you're not resource with your partner, you can't like get sleep, or probably you don't have like neither some fun or pleasure. So it becomes really hard.
Mhm.
So it's really a matter of quality, like life quality, and is why we say also that rest is our birthright, because we really like we deserve rest. It's not something that we can opt in or not. It's like everyone deserve rest and is compelling as working or as
Yeah.
having sex or having food. Like, I mean, this is like
They're all
birthright. Like,
requirements. Yes. I mean, these are all,
yes.
you'd never wake a baby up and say, you've been resting too much, right? But
Yeah.
yet, as we grow, we feel like we don't somehow still qualify for that. Maybe we won't
Yeah.
sleep as much or whatever, our bodies adjust, but that essence of like these young children, we would never question the fact that they are worthy of rest and they deserve
Yeah.
rest and they need rest. I mean, I see it as a mom. My spouse took my
Yeah.
kids to a concert last night. This morning was a disaster.
Yeah.
Like, but as adults, maybe we have an ounce of more emotional resilience, but
Yeah.
still, yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing is like, as embodiment coach, for us is super. the core of everything is like, what is the body of rest? Like,
Hmm.
how I can really get there, where I can recognize the level, because sometimes the body lie and you get to a plafond where you think you are rested, but you
Hmm.
actually are not. But because you always been there in that baseline of not rested, so you think it's normal, and the bodies just keep going because it's the only things it know how to do. So that work about really going into, and I think it's somatic experience, or anyway somatic practice, are really amazing for this, because going into the subtle details of what happening in my body in some moments when I rest in stillness or in rest into action is where we can start to find details and little things that start to make sense in the biggest map that we are still to figure out. Because how can this rest is not my, she's got like super light sleep, for example, and she really need a cocoon for her in order to have good sleep. I have a deep, like, for example,
Hmm.
I but we are all different in sleep, how we eat, how we really need to relax. So um it's not about giving, there are no rules, but there are good habits,
Hmm.
probably, or things that you can find for yourself that works.
Yeah, like what are the things you notice? I mean, first of all, it's like starting with noticing, like what are the things that actually feel like they resource me and they fill up my bucket again, versus what
Yeah.
are the things that don't do that. So it's noticing what is that quality inside myself. And back to that concept of rest is money, when I have more of that quality and I feel alive and I feel resourced and I feel joyful. If we're talking about a work environment, my efficiency level is like, whoa, productivity is like, whoa. And I get done probably in 3 or 4 hours what would normally take me the entire day, if then,
Yeah.
because I have capacity and I have creative ideas and all of that stuff that goes with it. But it's figuring out like what's that thing for you, or the few things for you that's
Mm.
not your 2 week vacation every year, or that's more than that. I mean,
Yeah.
most people will start to feel that quality, but then their life comes back. They come back from vacation restored, and then they're exactly into the same habits and patterns. So how do you
Yeah.
translate that throughout the year for yourself?
Yeah. And then the other thing is like how you can really rest during the day, right? Like it can be that you need to reach 10 months of work or whatever it is before or you go to a retreat for 3 days in a year of like full silence and it's done. I mean, it is beautiful if you can do it. I mean, why not? But there are also small practice during days and small action on not take action. They can
Mhm.
really, yes, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah. I mean, it can be small things throughout the day, right?
yeah,
Doesn't have to be big. It could be, I'm not going to rush out of my bed this morning and rush to the gym and rush to do this. Instead, I'm going to just take a minute before I get out of bed. Think about
yes,
what I want to do the day. Have like even a different pace can be a restful pace, right? To try something different that way, um, to set yourself up differently, to
yeah,
try different things. Hmm.
yes. So, this is a course if you feel that things are not going as you want, that you're going too fast, that your schedule is too full, that you feel that you need rest, but you don't know where to start. And if you also try to rest, but you feel shame or guilty, it's totally normal. The majority of us grew up in this
Hmm.
capitalist society, feel guilty when rest. All gender, everyone, all human being. Like, so you're not alone. And I think it's learning, really peeling off these layers of stress that society also build on us,
Mhm.
is really important in order to allow ourselves to rest and be kind, and instead of being like the best, the worst tyranny of ourselves, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think it's really needed in this world at the moment. Yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, less is more, right?
Mhm. Yep, and it's both less hard-earned lessons that we have
Yeah, exactly.
have had to learn
Yeah,
for ourselves. So,
yeah.
mhm.
And still, right? Like I have still to remember myself to go slow. Because
Mhm.
sometimes when I start to accelerate, is in 2 seconds I can be so far away where I want instead. Yeah. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, um, have a
If you
nice weekend, right? Do we have
Hmm.
to? No, I think that we good.
I think so. It's a nice natural
Yes.
conclusion.
Yes.
Once again, we'll make sure to put the information about the equinox celebration and the bigger course that we're offering in the links below, or put the links in the chat below.
Yes.
Any questions, message us, and we will be happy to answer.
Yep. Bye,
And until then.
everyone. Bye. Conclusion. Okay.